Hi guys, Allison here, the Bored Housewife. So this week I am talking about stress. I had an entirely different episode planned, but life has happened for Allison, and I am running out of time before we go on this month-long trip and move to Japan, and everything is just now happening like I knew it would. You try as best as you can to plan in advance, but sometimes, there's only so much that you can do. So I did not feel like I had enough time to properly do the episode that I had planned, and since I am feeling all of these things, I thought I would talk about them today. As you may have noticed, I didn't have a proper drink tutorial this week. I am drinking iced coffee. Probably shouldn't be drinking coffee, but at least thought for the episode it would be cooler than water. But yeah, my iced coffees, I have a hazelnut flavored coffee that I brew and then chill in the refrigerator, and then when I'm ready to make my drink, I put in my ice cubes and my coffee, and then I put in a little splash of vanilla or coconut almond milk, and it's quite delicious. So yeah, we're gonna have so much fun this episode. I hope I don't stress anyone else out. I'm gonna explain to you why I'm feeling stressed and what I'm trying to do to become unstressed, things that I've tried in the past that still don't really seem to work. But anyways, we'll have some fun. You gotta laugh at it, because if you don't, then you just cry, and it's sad. So, anyways, cheers guys, let's have some fun. Alright, so as you guys may or may not know, I do like a glow up on my Instagram and TikTok and stuff. And this week I didn't even have it in me, nor the time. We have our one last family visit, which I am so thankful for the family visits this summer, but I'm just, it's just all happening, and there's so many emotions. And so I was like, I am putting on mascara, powder, and blush, and I then put on a little tinted lip gloss, because I looked, to see if my position was okay, and I'm like, all right, we need something else on that face. I'm sorry, guys. I am just kind of at my wit's end. So I am still continuing with the Bored Housewife, but starting, after this episode, I'm going to go back to doing it every other Monday, just to give myself some time to spread some stuff out, because I have to double up the next few weeks on shooting episodes, and I still have so much going on. And then I'm going out of town for 10 days. And then as soon as I get back, we're packing up and we're heading out. So I just am going to have to prepare all of that, and trying to prepare enough for every single week. Plus, the whole month of October, it's just going to be too much for me. And so I am, it hurts. This is, I think, part of stress, right? Like, we put ourselves in scenarios, or, things come to us, and it's really difficult. And we're pushing ourselves to do these things and to get this stuff done. And in this scenario, in my scenario, it's all self-inflicted. It's all like, I came up with these ideas to do all this. I just wasn't realistic about how much I could actually commit to it. Even this week, I had planned on shooting my episode Monday, Tuesday. Well, Monday, because we had stuff going on over the weekend, I had to edit this last week's episode on Monday, which I usually get it out, 12 a.m. on Monday. So it came out later, and so that kind of took up a whole day. And then, by Tuesday, then I had to continue to pack. And so basically, we've had our first shipment go out. So there's 3 shipments for our packing to Japan. They have an advanced shipment, which is supposed to get out there before us. So we'll see if that happens or not. It's kind of a crapshoot. But in theory, it gets out there around the time that we get there, a little bit before. Just so we have like extra things like pots and pans, sheets, pillows, maybe some extra clothes, whatever, just to help make you more comfortable while you're waiting for your entire house shipment, because that takes longer to get here. So we have that first shipment went out yesterday, and this is huge part of the stress that I'm still feeling, and it's like there's just so many things, and it's like I am such an emotional person, and I'm going to get into this in the next episode. I'm talking about the type of people that we want to be, like who is it that we want to be. And I don't want to be this overly emotional person. Like it's great in certain scenarios, but when it comes to like stuff like this about like just a matter of getting it done, and it doesn't have to be emotional. Like I get too invested into it, and it just makes me want to cry all the time. So yesterday was one of those days where it was like, okay, this is the first really big thing that's happening. Like part of my stuff is now left my house and is going to Japan. It's kind of like a smack in the face, like, okay, we're on this train and it's leaving the station, no going back now, which, I mean, it was leaving the station a long time ago, but it's like, since February, there's just been so many ups and downs, and there's still stuff that are not finished yet, and that we don't have, like, certain things done because we're waiting on other people, and it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. So, also, I am an information gatherer. I'm just like, tell me all the things. Well, now I think I've gotten to a point where I've had too much information. And what I'm realizing is like, every single person's experience is going to be different moving over there. And it's going to be what it's going to be. Like, even the moving aspect of it, like you think it would be all pretty generic. But like, the government hires these moving companies from all over the United States. It's not just like one big moving company that works for the government. So everything is standard. Like, no, all these moving companies have different rules and ways of doing things. And so it's like how your stuff's getting over there, when it's getting over there, is going to be different for everybody, because one company might be more on top of stuff than another company. So it's like, again, it's like stuff like that it's just, you don't really realize, and you kind of learn along the way. But I'm seeing that, like, okay, I need to keep in perspective that just because this was someone's experience doesn't mean that it's going to be my experience. But our friends were telling me some advice, because they were prior military wives, and they both lived overseas several different times. And so they said the one thing is that your stuff gets put in these wooden crates, and then they put the crate door on it and nail it up and seal it. And so they told me, make sure that you see them do this. Make sure you see them put the nails and the seal on it, because once that seal puts on it, if it's broken, then it's like, well, okay, why was someone into your crate? No one should be getting into your crate after they've sealed it. So they told me, like, make sure out of everything that they do, you see that happen. And so I'm like, okay. So yesterday the moving guys get here, and I immediately go to the truck, and I'm like, so you guys have a crate to put all this in, right? Yep, here's a crate. Okay, great. Like, they have a crate. Like, this is going to be fine. So they begin to pack up our stuff. Like, it's a small shipment, so it's not like it's a ton of things. They are here like a few hours max. They go to put the door on the crate, and he's like, oh, we don't have any nails. And I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, you don't even think to ask, like, do you have the nails? Like, you just assume people can do their their jobs. And not that these guys weren't good at their jobs. Like, they had a truck issue. There was probably other circumstance that was part of the reason why they didn't have the supplies that they needed. But I was just like, oh my God. So they're like, yeah, we're going to have to take this back to the warehouse. And honestly, I don't really care for this crate, so we might put your stuff in a different crate. And I'm like, the one thing that my friends told me to make sure I see get done, because they were like, that's how we lost a huge television, and that's how we lost this, you know? And it's like, the more your stuff gets moved around, not that I'm, you know, assuming that anybody is dishonest or trying to steal our things, like, our things really aren't that great. It's just a matter of, like, organization, and just when you're moving stuff around, that's when it's easy for stuff to get lost and put in the wrong spot. And so I was just like, oh my God, like, this is the thing. So yeah, I about had like a mini panic attack and just losing my shit. And, you know, I'm trying to push it down, which is not good. Because an older or a younger version of me probably would have gone into the house and started crying and being hysterical. And that's just not a healthy way to deal with it either, because, you know, as crying can be a good release sometimes, and sometimes that is what you need. But in that scenario, like, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to help anything. And it would have just worked me up even more. So my husband's, you know, trying to be like, it's going to be okay. We called the moving company right away and explained what happened. They were very, very nice and accommodating, and they sent us pictures of the crate, and then it's like, here's what it looks like before the door is on. Here's the door now. Here are the seals. So, okay, a little bit more peace of mind, but it's just like, you know, not only is there the stress of, is my stuff actually going to make it to Japan? There's the stress of, like, the emotions of, wow, this is finally happening. We're moving to Japan. So, that on top of, like, one more family visit, we can do this. You know, and just, like, all these changes, I'm just, like, really kind of hitting a wall. And yeah. So, part of my stress in the past has been a lack of organization, and not being prepared. And this time in my life, I feel like I'm way over prepared. And you would think that the preparedness would help you, but it's not. Like, I'll be right back. Let me show you. Okay. Okay, this is my binder with my fun, cool Okinawa, like, clip art that I found on the internet. Okay, this is how prepared I am, people. All right, I got this. I got calendars. We got forms in here. We got freaking everything that we need is in this binder, okay? It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit. All right, then my friend, like, I was telling her how I was feeling overwhelmed, and she was like, well, do you make lists? I love to make lists. The procrastinator in me loves to make lists. You can't start doing anything until you start your list. But this time, it's like, there's just so many things on the list, and I just look at it, and I'm like, whoa. Like, where do you start? So my brain just starts going every which way, and it's like I can't focus. It's like I'm reading the words. Like, so for packing, I made a list of everything that I needed. Okay, making a list. This is fun. Making the list. Get to start checking stuff off now, right? So I look at the thing, and it says clothing. I'm like, clothes. What are clothes? What kind of clothes do I need? And then I start to realize that, shit, like, I have to get organized beyond just this express shipment, because I have to figure out clothes that I want, you know, supposedly when we show up that are going to be there. I then have to figure out what clothes I am going to be planning on wearing from here until the end of our trip in October. We're spending time down in Florida, but we're also going up to the Great Smoky Mountains in Kentucky area towards the end of October. So I have to have multiple seasonal clothing for this trip. Okay, so what's that look like? Then on top of it, I'm visiting my friends in California, in Southern California, and want to look cool. So friends, if you're watching this, please don't judge me if I look like a crazy lady. You're like, what the fuck is Allison wearing? Because I don't know, guys. I put so many clothes in that express shipment, and I'm just like, oh no, like I think I said too many things. But it's hard because I had to like mentally, so I went through my whole closet and all my drawers, and I had to look at every piece of clothing and be like, am I going to wear this in the next like 2 months? No. Am I going to wear this? No. Am I going to wear this? Maybe. Like, okay. And so then it's like pots and pans, like kitchenware stuff. Like, okay. It's like every single item on there. I literally would sit down on the couch, and it was just so overwhelming. It took me a week and a half to pack or put stuff aside, because I would just stare at my phone at this list because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. So I'm like, we're camping on this trip of ours. I've just created such a fun mess for myself. Again, like, this is all me. Like, we're the ones who want to take this month-long trip, and I can't wait. We are going to have so much fun. But the planning for it is just really hard and so time consuming. Like, it is expensive to be on the road for a whole month. And so, we're trying to cut corners and like find good deals on hotels, and then like we're camping too, so that definitely saves money. But like, it's just so much, guys. You have to make reservations for everything. You can't just show up and be like, we're here. Like, no. So yeah. And then, yeah. So, okay, Allison, you've told us all your woes. Now what are you doing about it? I am trying so hard not to give a shit. I've been talking a lot about philosophy these last few weeks, and I'm trying so hard to dig down deep inside myself. I do yoga. I try to breathe even though I don't, and I hold my breath when I'm stressed. My little watch, she beeps at me and she's like, even a minute of breathing can reduce whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, she doesn't sound like that. But I'm just like, shut up, bitch. I don't got time for you. I don't have a minute to breathe. Okay. Breathing is a luxury. It's for people who have people that plan shit for them, okay? When you're doing it yourself, you don't have time to breathe. But my point of sharing all this with you is this is obviously a big time in changing and all the things in my life, and in my husband's life, and I am so freaking excited. I cannot wait to get there, but just this process has not been fun, and I've gone through very different emotions throughout the time. I did have insomnia for a period of time, but then I figured out why I get insomnia, and once I called myself out, I don't get it anymore. So I realized I get insomnia because when I get so tired from not sleeping, then I don't care about my problems anymore. And once I pinpointed that, now I have no issues sleeping, which is good. But now it means I actually have to deal with the problems and the stress. So I guess I just wanted to talk about this just so you guys have a little understanding of what's going on. I'm trying really hard to get some cool things out here and still bring you a nice message and product, but that's just not gonna be this week. And I'm sure everyone can relate. We all have really stressful times in our lives. I I asked my husband what he likes to do or what he does to de-stress. And he's like, you just really have to not give a shit and not just say, like, okay, I'm not going to give a shit. Like, truly believe it. Like, truly believe and not giving a shit. And he does it really well. And not that that's a bad thing. Like, he just is like, it's what it is what it is, you know? And I'm good with that sometimes, but I just haven't been good lately with that. And so I'm trying really hard. And if anyone has any other stress relievers, please share them with me. I will definitely try them. But I'm trying to sort of, reflect and just be like, it doesn't matter. Like, and it doesn't, because nothing that I'm sending to Japan is, irreplaceable. Sure, it would suck if something went missing or everything went missing. That would not be fun, but I have no control over it. And that's another thing I realized. I just have really, these control issues, and I'm working on them. And we've talked about this with different philosophy examples, like when we try to control people and all these sorts of things. The only thing I can control is myself, and the only thing, the only thing I can control is myself and my emotions and how I decide to react to things. But I'm struggling. Like, I'm just struggling with the stress, because the stress feels like something chemical inside of you. It doesn't feel like, oh, I had a, like, or someone, yelled at me today, and okay, I can't control that person for deciding to yell at me or flip me off, in their car. I don't need to get angry about that. I can move on. This is different. I don't know, maybe this is just how my brain is wired, but it's just like, it's just overwhelming, and my brain just is like, pew, 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 like all over the place. You guys probably are like, Allison, you need to be medicated. But yeah, it's just like, I'm there, guys. And so I'm hoping, I can really believe in the not caring aspect, because I feel myself slipping into the crazy. Like, okay, yeah, nothing matters. It's going to be fine. But like, it's just like a numbness. It's not actually believing that. Like, you guys know what I mean, right? When you've like hit your threshold, and then like your body is just like, goes into like hibernation mode, and you're just like a zombie that like is walking around and you're doing things, but you just feel like you're floating above the world. Anyone else feel like that ever? When you're just not in your body and you're just watching everything happen, and you're like, yeah, this is fine. Like that meme of that dog in the burning house, and it's just sitting there like, yeah, everything, this is great. Like, no, you don't want to be like that, right? You want to be rooted in reality. You want to have control over yourself and do what you can. But everything else that's external, like, you gotta let it go, and you can't allow it to affect you. And so I'm trying really hard. I will keep you guys posted. I hope I make it. I really hope I make it. I'll make it. It's fine. I'm very lucky that I have such a grounded husband, because if it was anybody else, it would be bad. It would just be crazy. And so, all right, that's all I got for you guys today. Okay, breathe, Allison. Take a minute to breathe. Let me know what's going on with you guys, what you do for your stress relievers. If you're going through a stressful time, try not giving a shit and see how that works for you. But, it's just something that we have to get used to. Life is not easy, and we have these moments, even if they're great. Like moving to Japan, it's so exciting, and I can't wait. But with it comes a lot of work. It comes with a lot of organization and dealing with a lot of different government agencies that are just so much fun to deal with. So you know. But other than that, it really hasn't been that bad for us. And I'm just hoping that, getting to Japan, all of our stuff will show up and all the stress will have been for nothing. And if it doesn't, the stress will still have been for nothing because there's nothing I can do about it. And I just have to keep telling myself that over and over and over. But anyways, cheers, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, follow. Please let me know what you guys have going on, what you do to help get rid of stress. And like I said, I think I'm going to start doing these every other week. So not sure if you'll have one next Monday, but you will have one the Monday after that. And yeah, I guess this next month, 2 months would be a great time to catch up on any other episodes that you might have missed. But yeah, it's going to be fun. We're all going to make it through, right? We're all going to make it through this. Before you know it, I'm going to be in Japan, bored again, and have so many new things to talk about. So, anyways, thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.